factors that have shaped the road transport industry in the last few years are youth, infrastructure, and technology. This exclusive series, the YIT Series, presented by Tata Motors, showcases transporters who have used all three parameters to transform their company and take their business to the next stage. Good morning, friends, and welcome to yet another brand new series on Trans India, the YIT series presented by Tata Motors. A lot has changed in the road transport industry in the last decade. From old school working on ledgers, rickety roads, and trucks that would break down without a sign, the industry is now working with the best of tools at its disposal. You have ERP systems that make back-end management a breeze. A few clicks and everything seems under control. At the same time, the government has invested heavily in developing the highway network in India. And how much ever the industry may complain about high toll charges, one cannot deny the fact that driving on these highways and expressways is a pleasure. Finally, you have trucks. Once again, huge investment and the best minds in R&D ensure that trucks are not just comfortable for the drivers, but also perform in sync with current times that demand on-time delivery. And this is not where the tech ends. You also have tires and lubricants. Tire companies and oil companies have been coming up with products that enhance safety, that add to the efficiency, and make sure that the truck remains on road for the maximum amount of time. In the first episode of the YIT series presented by Tata Motors, we feature a young and ambitious transporter who is shouldering the responsibilities of a company that his father started with just one truck, and today they are synonymous for delivering the best service. We are delighted to have with us Suyashh Gupta from Best Roadways as he talks about the YIT factors that have helped in the transformation of Best Roadways. Incidentally, Best Roadways completed 40 years earlier this month, marking a significant landmark for the company. So here's Suyashh talking about the journey that started with one truck and now is a benchmark for the best experience. Suyashh, can you take us through the journey of Best Roadways, or rather the history of Best Roadways?
So Best Roadways was started in 1985. It's almost been 40 years. It was started by my dad, Mr. Kumar Gupta.
What were the operations like when the company started?
It was started from Masjid Bandar in Bombay at Kalyan Street, Prestige Chambers. Initially, we had an operation from Delhi to Bombay only, one route, one single route from Delhi to BPT port and BPT port to Delhi. And slowly we graduated towards other locations.
So yes, Mumbai, Delhi is your primary route. Most of your trucks can be seen on this route. How important is this route for you?
Most of our trucks, most of our own vehicles are plying on this route, Delhi, Bombay, Bombay, Delhi, and also other routes like Mundra, Delhi, Delhi, Mundra. Primarily, we are catering to all exporters and importers from Delhi and from Mumbai. Importers from Mumbai, exporters from Delhi. That has been our bread and butter ever since. But having said that, we have also diversified into market-based vehicles where we are having subcontracted vehicles. We are using market vehicles from other branches for FTL loads. But for PTL loads and for certain customers and for certain special services like express delivery, where we are guaranteeing 36 hours deliveries, we are using our own vehicles.
Suyashh, what would be your fleet size currently?
It's around, I would say, 800 containers plus.
And what about attached fleet? How much would that be?
Attached fleet would be more than 5,000.
Suyashh, people consider managing one's own fleet a challenging task. I mean, most fleet owners say that. How do you keep an eye on the attached fleet and how do you source these trucks?
So we are not having like an outsourced fleet attached to us as in on a dedicated basis. It's on a need basis.
Okay.
As in when the need arises, we have a fixed set of brokers or vendors or vehicle owners for fixed set of customers, certain chemical customers that require certain compliant vehicles, certain SOPs need to be followed. So in that sense, we have a set of vendors that we hire from, but we don't have any exclusivity contract or exclusively we'll hire from those vendors. It's not like that.
Suyash, joining the family business for you was a personal choice or a default decision, like it had to happen?
I joined the business in 2012. Uh, and it was known, like I had studied in the US and then in the UK, and I worked there for some time, and then I joined the family business. But ultimately it was ingrained in us from the childhood when I used to visit the office. It used to be a small office back then in a mezzanine floor and Prestige Chambers.
Right, I've been to that office, yes.
Yes. So, as a school-going kid, I used to see my dad as a single man person in the office, working from everything, handling on his own, and it was just subconsciously ingrained in us that ultimately we have to join the family business.
Okay. We will continue our interaction with Suyash on the other side of this very short break. You are watching the YIT series presented by Tata Motors.
याद तेरे दिल में है
इस
मेरी।
हाईवे पे ना मेरा गांव दिखता है।
अच्छा
दिखाऊंगा अभी देखना।
यार
वो मेरा गांव, वो देखो।
दूर से भी अच्छा दिख रहा है।
अभी तुमको दिखाता हूँ जगह। वो जो बाग है ना, वहाँ बचपन में आम तोड़ खाया करते थे।
आम तो कई प्रकार के होते हैं, दशहरी, चौसा,
वो
मालदा।
वो मेरा घर वो देखो।
कौन सा?
अरे यार वो सफेद वाला।
सफेद तो कई है वहाँ।
अरे वो सबसे सफेद जिसमें खिड़की है।
खिड़की तो सब में है वहाँ।
अरे है ना यार वो।
कौन सा?
वो यार
जहाँ पे बकरी बंधा है वो? फिर कौन सा? कहाँ? वहाँ कहाँ?
टाटा ट्रक्स लाए हैं कोलिशन मिटिगेशन सिस्टम। ध्यान भटकने और ट्रक के सामने किसी के भी ज्यादा पास आने पर ट्रक की एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजी नियंत्रण लेकर एक्सीडेंट होने से बचाती है, ताकि आप और आपका ट्रक दोनों सेफ रहें। अब सेफ्टी होगी और भी ज्यादा। टाटा ट्रक्स, देश के ट्रक्स।
Welcome back to Tata Motors presents YIT, Youth, Infrastructure, Technology. And we have with us one of the brand ambassadors of YIT, Suyashh Gupta from Best Roadways. Suyash, you have studied in the US and UK and even worked there for a while. That would be really contrasting, I presume, compared to what you see in India. How would you describe these differences?
So yes, you're right. It was quite initially. It was quite challenging to adjust to the Indian work culture. It was kind of a cultural shock for me, adjusting to the working conditions and the style of working in India. But eventually, it took me some time to adjust. But after that, I think it was. I mean, I was mentored well by my dad and a few other senior colleagues in the company who've been working with us for more than 30, 40 years. So I was lucky to have good mentors around me who guided me through. And initially, I was discovering what is my calling, whether in operations or in business development or sales or fleet management or warehousing, different departments. I dabbled my, I worked there for some time, and then I finally had a calling into what I liked. What was a natural calling for me was into sales or business development or technology, innovation, digital transformation, and all that.
I guess you joined at the right time in a sense that the industry was evolving and probably shifting to a new era at that time, including adopting tech. How much has technology developed at Best Roadways since you joined the family business? I'm sure it was very basic at that time. Can you give us a sense of that?
So initially, when I joined, we were using some DOS, like a desktop-based system. It was called Fox Pro or something. And right at the time when I joined, we were migrating towards an online ERP. Uh, Cloud-based ERP. That was the time. Initially, they had already started migrating. I joined after that. And then eventually things started modifying in that technology domain also. We got into vehicle tracking systems, then we got SIM based tracking. Now we are doing WhatsApp tracking and CRM. We have mobile apps for the customers. So a customer portal was developed, a customer related to anything of his or her details, like anything to do with his account. He can view from the fingertips on our app. He can view his outstanding. He can lodge a complaint, track the consignments, book the consignments, schedule for delivery, pick up everything on the app. So this was one initiative that we started after I joined. Few years ago, we had gone live about for just before lockdown.
Okay.
So bits and pieces, I would say, related to innovation, technology, process automation. Now is the age of AI, so we are dabbling into how we can integrate Chat GPT into our system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Suyashh, what would be the impact of these developments in terms of profitability as well as efficiency?
I think it has had a good impact on the efficiency in terms of communication, in terms of customer service. I think the primary real benefits that we see, like people giving us more orders of business versus some other company, some other competitors who's not that much into technology innovation, is the ease of doing business, the communication flow, transparency, information visibility. That has attracted customers towards us versus some other LSP who is doing the similar kind of business that we do. PTL, Express PTL, our communication with the customers, whether it's man-made communication like or manned communication like customer care team, that was always very strong. And now with WhatsApp and email and self-service type of communication, it has become even more efficient, I would say. And that has also resulted in reduction of manpower, because a lot of things that were actually manually written by our customer care team through emails or through WhatsApp is now automated.
So yes, there is always a pressure from the customers to reduce costs, and competition too doesn't make things any simple. But at the same time, you're also investing heavily in tech. How do you balance this, and do you think the investment in tech is able to boost profits? Does it give you an edge?
No, eventually you're right. The tech, if tech initially the capex looks a bit steep, but eventually over the period of time it pays off. I know customers want everything for free. Like they want everything, but they don't want to pay a premium for even the tech, because even the tech becomes commoditized over a period of time. Technology starting is very innovative. Then initially some customers would pay some amount. For example, we are using GPS locks. We started with GPS locks in our for certain customers.
Okay.
Initially they were paying us premium, or initially they were okay to pay us some premium for that. But eventually the news spreads out, or it becomes more common, so everyone started using that GPS locks. So then the customers removed that kind of premium. So the tech, we were first movers in a lot of technology initiatives, but ultimately the competition catches up, and then the customers also know that. So, but in terms of business, I think if we have these kind of things, they might not give you good rates or freight per consignment or whatever, but eventually your volume of business you see increasing, because they see that seamlessness or the consistency in the services. So eventually, indirectly, you get a larger volume of business from them. In certain customers, I have seen it in a real, firsthand.
Sush, have you ever talked to your dad about the kind of profits he raked in when he started off compared to what you are making today? And also, do you think the road transport business has become more of a volume game with minuscule profits? Is that the way forward?
Absolutely. I think when we had started that time, this 36 hours express delivery was a very innovative concept. We used to fly 2 drivers, 3 drivers, and they used to drive non-stop 1500 kilometers from Delhi to Bombay, which is still there in our. That time we used to get a very good premium for that kind of service.
Right.
But nowadays, that premiumization, like you're saying, it's become highly commoditized and highly competitive. Absolutely, the margins keep decreasing, costs are increasing, and the profit margins keep shrinking every year. That is true. So ultimately, yes, you're right. It's a volumes game ultimately.
We will continue our interaction with Suyashh on the other side of this very short break. You are watching the YIT series presented by Tata Motors.
सावधानी हटी दुर्घटना घटी निजा 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 नाना लेन मत छोड़ तू लेन मत छोड़ सावधानी हटी दुर्घटना।
लापरवाही जिंदगी में मजाक लग सकती है, लेकिन ट्रक चलाते वक्त लापरवाही जान और माल का बड़ा नुकसान कराती है। इसलिए टाटा मोटर्स लाए हैं लेन डिपार्चर वार्निंग सिस्टम। ध्यान भटकने और ट्रक के अपनी लेन छोड़ने पर एक वार्निंग सिस्टम ड्राइवर को अलर्ट कर देता है, ताकि आप और आपका ट्रक रहे हमेशा सुरक्षित। अब सेफ्टी होगी और भी ज्यादा। टाटा ट्रक्स, देश के ट्रक्स।
Welcome back to Tata Motors presents YIT, Youth, Infrastructure, Technology. And we have with us one of the brand ambassadors of YIT, Suyashh Gupta from Best Roadways. Suyashh, your company was perhaps the first company to start 36-hour service between Delhi and Mumbai at a time when road network was probably pathetic and trucks too were not as advanced or reliable as now. How do you make that happen and how did you align the drivers to this kind of service?
So, honestly, from what I hear and what my dad told me, the 36-hour delivery concept was actually geared towards more towards the driver's welfare rather than both. I mean, of course, it was more towards customer service also, but even looking at the driver's conditions, like driver would drive one driver, same driver would, to make his life easier, we had started, like, you alternate between two drivers,
Right.
so that you also get rest, and the trucks also reach on time, so that you can do more trips per month. So it was kind of, it started from that humane concept. It was more towards looking at the drivers rather than profitability, but it turned out to be a win-win proposition
For both, actually.
Yeah.
So as the industry keeps talking about driver shortage and here you are running 800 plus trucks of your own with double drivers. How do you manage to get and retain so many drivers and also motivate them?
No, absolutely. There is a huge shortage of drivers. We don't have any more. There is no concept of cleaners anymore, as you say.
Absolutely.
A khalasi that there used to be. But certain customers, I mean, for certain products or certain companies, we have to give them a premium service for which they give us some premium on express delivery charges. It is a challenge. So the drivers are shortage of drivers is a reality, and certain drivers are such that in especially we hire from certain towns like Mewat. So
Right.
those drivers are actually willing to drive non-stop. That single driver drives uh, morning and night shift. So it's a challenge, but yeah, we're grappling.
How do you take care of the safety aspect, especially with single drivers working for long hours?
So there are few cases of incidents keep happening, but primarily the road conditions have improved a lot drastically over the last 20 years. The highways have become very good, especially the Bombay-Delhi NH48.
Right.
So the road conditions are good. The driver facilities are abundant in en route now. So the wear and tear of the vehicle is lesser. And since our routes are defined, our drivers are well trained, well versed. It's a predictable route. So drivers are also know to do up and down. They are doing 9,000 kilometers. So it helps if there's predictability.
I mean, they actually know every pothole on that road.
Exactly that way, and the drivers are also kind of quite experienced now, because most our driver attrition rate is also quite low actually.
Okay. Suyash, while tech in the background has helped a great deal in managing operations, trucks have also become better and technologically advanced. How much has that helped your operations as well as the operating costs?
Better trucks, better profits. I would say yes. The breakdowns have gone down drastically with the new BS6 trucks, and mileage has gone up. Mileage has gone up. We give a fixed diesel to the drivers for the round trip.
Right.
So the better mileage means better savings for him only, and if better savings, so driver is happy. So that kind of makes him stick around with us, because we give him a cap. Whatever savings is done because of the better vehicles, the diesel is getting saved more, so he gets to keep that the surplus.
Okay, so that is passed on to the driver.
Yeah, we have, it's a round trip cap we do. But again, if the better margins, better averages are there, so the efficiency has come in the profitability in the reduction of the trip advance that we give. That also as it is. But more or less, the driver wear and tear vehicles have wear and tear has gone down. The tires are performing better now.
Okay.
We given EMCs to certain tire OEMs, so they are managing our tires. Vehicles are given on AMCs now,
Okay.
so that way our headache has gone down.
Are you looking at the idea of exploring alternate fuel trucks as well?
Yeah, we have. I mean, since our operations is in Delhi, we have CNG trucks since a very long time. The smaller 20 feeters or canter-based CNGs, and we have CNG last mile for last mile in Nhava Sheva. Apart from that, we have recently retrofitted diesel, the 32 feet containers into CNG.
Okay.
We have done some few retrofitments for long haul, because earlier there used to be shortages of CNG pumps on our route.
Right.
Now it has become better. So we have started doing that, and then we have bought some 24-feeter CNG trucks of OEM fitted and retrofitted. And then we are doing some trials of electric last mile pickups for last mile deliveries. Also, we are exploring options in LNG now.
Okay. Suyashh, while we have spoken about the impact of technology on operations and overall business, what has been the impact of infrastructure development? And would the Mumbai-Delhi Expressway have a significant impact on your operations, since that is your primary route?
I think with the expressway, I think we have already started using from Jaipur, from Dausa to Delhi, which has already opened.
Okay.
Definitely, there is a big change in the turnaround time in vehicle tire wear and tear. We see a reduction in that, and eventually, with the expressway fully operational, our turnaround time and more number of trips. Right now, our average kilometers per truck is around 8,000 or 9,000 kilometers, around 2.5 to 3 trips, round trips, which is a very decent average if you see compared to the industry average.
Right.
Which I can possibly predict that with the fully operational expressway from Nhava Sheva to Delhi, we can easily do 12,000 kilometers. One more round trip we can easily add, because our movement is warehouse to warehouse. So the detention time, generally the vehicles are not detained that much.
And that's really a huge benefit.
Exactly. So the more number of trips means more productivity. Maybe we would not require that many number of trucks, or maybe if the business is steadily increasing, so it will be even more efficient for us for more number of fleet and more number of trips per fleet per truck. So that would be great.
And does this 36 hours now get further reduced to maybe 32 or 30?
I think we'll have to see, because right now the traffic system in getting into Porbandar Road or Navsari, Gujarat, it's terrible. Right now the situation is very bad.
True.
Getting into Mumbai and getting out of Mumbai or Thane,
That is the challenge.
it's very bad. But I would say the future looks good. Eventually it will get better.
Suyashh, with so much happening in the industry, how do you see the future at Best Roadways, and what are your expansion plans?
Eventually, I think we are looking at a good 20-25% growth this year. Currently, we are at around 650 crores of turnover. Last year, we grew by 16%. Means from FY 24-25 to 23-24 compared to 24-25, we grew 16%. This year we are hoping to cross maybe 22% growth. We are hoping for 25%. And we have diversified our industry verticals. We started off with exports, means handicrafts, garments, textiles, rugs from North India, and then imports of all kinds from here. That was our bread and butter, started in 90s, and then we moved towards chemical, various kind of chemical industries, petrochemicals. Then now recent years we increased our focus on renewables. So solar energy is one of our very growing sectors. FMCG has been decent, although the industry has not been performing that well in the last 4-5 years. But since we were late entrants, so our base was already low. So we did some good business in FMCG space. And apart from that, apart from vertical diversification, we are also looking at network diversification. As you know, we are heavily focused on North and West historically, and even today. So, we hope to start some new lanes from, South to North, or from Bombay, Nhava Sheva to South. And we are still using some kind of some fleet of our own, but not much. But we hope to expand it more aggressively in the South and East in the coming years or months.
Youth, infrastructure, technology. The three parameters that would continue to dominate this industry for a long time. Suyashh demonstrates how YIT can impact the fortunes of an organization. The next episode of YIT will feature another legendary organization that is older than India's independence, almost, and now being led by the third generation. Well, that will feature next month. We will be back again next week with another exciting interaction. You have been watching the YIT series presented by Tata Motors, a Trans India exclusive. So until next week, stay safe and drive safe. Jai Hind.
ड्राइवर साहब की आंखों पर नजर रखना हमारा काम है, हमारी ड्यूटी है। जैसे ही ड्राइवर साहब को नींद आएगी, अकबर, और अगर दोबारा नींद आई तो
ये पागल क्या?
पर कुछ भी हो जाए, ड्राइवर साहब को नींद नहीं।
टाटा ट्रक्स लाए हैं ड्राइवर मॉनिटरिंग सिस्टम। ड्राइवर की जरा सी भी आंख लगने पर अलार्म बजकर उसे जगा देता है, ताकि आपका ट्रक हमेशा सेफ रहे। अब सेफ्टी होगी और भी ज्यादा। टाटा ट्रक्स, देश के ट्रक्स।